welcome to Notice Tonight, the show that decodes the region. I am Wasbir Hussain. The biggest enumeration exercise that any Indian state has seen after independence is fast nearing completion, with the complete draft National Register of Citizens in Assam set to be published soon. The Supreme Court had fixed June 30th as the date for publication of the complete draft NRC, but in view of the devastating floods, work in the three Barak Valley districts suffered for around 10 days. It is therefore certain now that the complete draft NRC will not be published on June 30 and will be delayed by some days. Several questions arise at this stage. The NRC authorities had made it clear that claims and objections could be filed by people whose names do not figure in the final draft. But what will be the time limit for disposal of claims and objections? Again, after the disposal of claims and objections, when can one expect the final updated NRC? And the most important question, can those people whose names do not figure in the final NRC be automatically regarded as illegal migrants or foreigners? Significantly, the answer to this is no. It seems the politics of citizenship could linger even after the publication of the final NRC. And yes, what about deportation of the declared or confirmed illegal migrants? Is the Assam government mounting enough pressure upon the center to come up with an action plan? Can New Delhi and the illegal migrants back to Bangladesh, can be sent back to Bangladesh without a formal agreement with Dhaka? Or do we have no plans and hope to put such people in detention centers? To discuss the subject, I am joined by top Congress leader and former Chief Minister, Mr. Tarun Gogoi. Very soon, I'll be joined by ASU advisor, Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharya. At the studios, I have BJP MLA, Dr. Mansingh Rongpi, Congress spokesman, Apurva Bhattacharya, Dr. Akhil Ranjan Datta, Professor of Political Science at Guwahati University, Professor Arupjyoti Chaudhary, Dean of Academics at the Krishna Kanta Handik State Open University, and from Shillong, I am joined by Professor Prasenjit Biswas, who teaches philosophy at the Northeastern Hill University. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. I'd like to go straight. I'd like to begin with the former Chief Minister, Mr. Tarun Gogoi. Mr. Tarun Gogoi, welcome to Northeast Tonight.
Yeah.
The final draft NRC, will be published anytime now. What would you say at this stage? What would you like to say now?
Definitely we want a correct and a perfect NRC, because that was my own brainchild. It is I who took the initiative. There was no such agreement in even Assam Accord also. There was no demand in Assam also for the updating NRC of 1951. So in order to have a final solution for the foreigners of Assam, illegal immigration issue, which has been agitating in the minds of the people for many years also. So then I took up the matter. I just spoke to Samujjal Bhattacharya. He also agreed. Then I took up the matter with the Prime Minister of the India, Dr. Manmohan Singh, because this NRC has to be prepared by the government of India. It is not the job of the government of Assam also. Registrar General has to, the man who has to prepare all.
Right.
So there was a tripartite meeting, and accordingly they agreed also. Then initially, you also know, we don't have an experience, neither the government of India nor government of Assam has an experience in preparing the NRC also.
Right.
So initial stage, yes, the government of India agreed for the pilot project. That was in Barpeta and another here in Kamrup district. And Kamrup district, when we started the pilot project, then there is a lot of protests. there was a firing and all this.
Yes.
As a result of which delayed the process also.
Now,
so subsequently, of course, yes, subsequently we just had a discussion with all the stakeholders, all the political party, all the student organization. Then we made all these the formalities or modalities.
right.
Because we don't know about the modalities.
Right.
Neither government
Mr.
of
Gogoi,
India knows.
Mr.
So
Gogoi,
we found a modality.
yes. Mr. Gogoi, you are saying that the whole
Yeah.
NRC process was started during your tenure. But now my question to you now, Mr. Gogoi, all of us wants a correct NRC. Now, but there is lot of politics at play, isn't it? Are you worried that as the time comes for the publication of the final draft, there will be a lot of politics over this issue?
We are all worried because of the government, NRC authority, they themselves was worried. You see, they took up the matter with the government of India. They had their own apprehension. Why they had an apprehension? If they are going to have a perfect, correct NRC, if all the genuine Indian citizens' names should be included, there was no need for any apprehension. They themselves took up the matter with the Home Minister. They had their apprehension. They sought an extra 150 companies. They did mock drill in even Marigaon also. In case of such a disturbance, how to deal it? Why? Who has created all sorts of apprehensions?
So what are you?
The first list, as you know, including your first list also. Why
Yes, Mr.
all the MLAs,
yes.
MPs, including your name was also.
Mr. Gogoi.
So
Mr.
that's why it has created apprehension in the minds of the people. That yes,
But
a lot
yes,
of genuine Indian
But
citizens
what
would be
is
left
your
out.
appeal? What is your appeal? You are a very senior political leader of the state, Mr. Gogoi. You are a veteran political leader. You have been chief minister for 15 years. What is, apart from politics, what is your appeal to the people of Assam at this very, very critical juncture?
No, my appeal is not people of Assam. I am appeal to the Secretary General of India.
Registrar General.
Which is
Registrar
General. Or Registrar General of India and the Home Minister of India, and here also the coordinator, to prepare a correct list.
But why?
People are nice people. People of Assam.
Yeah.
Why? People don't would create any problem. Yes, there will be resentment if the large number of genuine Indian citizens are left out. So that's why my appeal to the government of Assam, then the government of India, particularly government of India, you see, then they should, you must prepare whatever the list you publish the list, correct list, all the genuine Indian
But
citizens.
Mr. Tron Gogoi, Mr. Gogoi,
here and there.
Yes, Mr. Gogoi, I must ask you this question. You have expressed your apprehension about whether the list is going to be correct or not, but we all know that this is a Supreme Court monitored exercise. We have faith in the judiciary. What do you have to say?
I will tell you, judiciary, they are going on the details. They give the general guidelines. They did a fix. You see, I have a full confidence in judiciary also.
Right.
We have all confidence in it. Judiciary don't look into the every day-to-day affairs. It is officials. It is 40,000-50,000 officials. They are doing the job. They are not monitoring every day whose name is here or they are not. They will interfere definitely when they will see the large number of genuine Indians. So, though they have been talking of monitoring, they give the little guidelines that it has to be completed and such and such. Not they have gone into the details, see the genuine. I know many of the cases, and we must give the instances also.
Yeah.
Whose name were in there, who voted in earlier also.
Right.
They were also deleted.
Right.
We took up the matter even with the President of the India also.
Mr. Gogoi, I would request you to kindly look straight into the camera. Mr. Gogoi, you know, finally, for the sake of clarity for our panelists here and our viewers, do you have doubts? Do you have doubts? Are you questioning the NRC authorities? Are you questioning whether they are doing an impartial job or whether doing a correct job or not? What are you actually saying?
I have my doubts. I hope that I will prove wrong.
Okay. Okay, I will take the views of my panelist, Mr. Tarun Gogoi. If you can little bit elaborate, why do you have your doubts?
Because they themselves has created doubts. Why they ask more companies? Why they are apprehending disturbances? You see, when the disturbance will take place, if the genuine Indian citizens' names are left out, if foreigners left out, there will not be any resentment also, disturbances.
Okay.
They themselves has created apprehension, that they had their own apprehension.
Right.
So that's why I had also my own apprehension.
Okay. Mr. Gogoi, I would like to thank you, but at the same time, I also request you, if you have the time, to stay on the program. Let us have the views of my panelists here. I'd like you to hold on and stay on for a while. I'd go straight to Dr. Mansingh Rongpi of the BJP. You have heard Congress leader and former Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi expressing doubts whether the authorities are actually working to come up with a correct voters list. He says he has doubts.
Well, I would not say that they have not done their work properly. They have done to the best of their abilities. But as the proverbial slip between the cup and the lip occurs in almost everything, here too, it's such a big exercise that some mistakes will be here and there, but they can be corrected in due course of time.
They can be corrected in due course of time, and the NRC authorities have also been repeatedly saying that there will be sufficient options to correct the roles. People can file claims and objections. I'll come to Mr. Tarun Gogoi for his response. Professor Arupjyoti Chaudhary, you have heard the former Chief Minister say that there is going to be, he has expressed clearly doubts that this is going to be a correct NRC that is going to come up at the end of the day.
Well, as you all know, that this is one of the mammoth exercises that we have conducted in the post-independent India. That is why apprehensions and expectations both are quite natural out of the exercise. And I think the very presence of expectations in certain quarters and apprehensions in certain other quarters reflect the overall democratic temperance of the polity. That is a very good sign of it. But insofar as the whole preparation process of the NRC is concerned, my individual view is that although the Supreme Court does not monitor the day-to-day activities in the preparation or updating of NRC, the overall guidelines that the court provides is itself sufficient to have a utmost proper sort of framework, so that the
including
people,
the guidelines, so that there is hardly any scope for mistakes. That's what you are trying to say.
Yeah, my point is that the other people who are involved in the preparation of the exercise,
they have to go by the stipulated guidelines. So that is enough, you are saying.
There is.
I will take the view. Yes, very quickly, Dr. Akhil Ranjan Datta.
I think the apprehensions that the Honorable former Chief Minister expressed, to an extent, it's very genuine in the sense that, because I have been looking into the Supreme Court orders from time to time. If you look at the orders being given by, or arguments being put forward by Government of India, particularly the people responsible to represent the Government of India, they have, at many instances, they were very reluctant to abide by the instructions being put forward by the Supreme Court of India. This is one. Secondly, the Citizenship Amendment Bill, all of we know that there is a contradiction between the Citizenship Amendment Bill and that of the NRC process. Therefore, certainly there are some apprehensions there, but apart from that, I think there are some genuine issues which we need to very comprehensively, which I'll take up later.
Yeah. I will come to Apurva Bhattacharjee little later. Mr. Tarun Gogoi, you have heard the panelists. They are saying that the Supreme Court guidelines are well stipulated, and the workers, the 50,000 workforce engaged in the NRC, are working according to the guidelines. So now many will say that you are expressing doubts and that you are actually playing politics. That will be the allegation against you.
Absolutely wrong. Other panelists also, they are also had an apprehension. Nobody has said except the BJP. He is definitely. You see, the Election Commission also prepare the voter list. Why people have no doubts about the Election Commission? Preparing a voter list, which is as important as preparing an NRC also. If the Election Commission couldn't prepare to find out the genuine Indian citizens, because unless there is a Indian citizens, they can't be a voter. That voter list is also not less important than NRC, because on that basis election takes place. On basis the MLAs or MLA government is formed. Neither here the Sonal government is formed on the basis of the voter list. So how, if they could do it in a few months, why you take so many, in spite of taking so many years, why you are approaching Supreme Court for extending time? Even the Secretary General also.
Hold on.
I am not playing politics.
Absolutely.
You see, they are playing politics. You see, it is the BJP government who is playing politics, and ultimately I am also confident that Supreme Court will interfere. Ultimately, genuine Indians' name will come. But why? In the final draft on 38th June, you see, large number will be left out. If the large number are not left out, I will be happy.
Right. Dr. Mansingh Rungpi, that is a very interesting argument which Mr. Tarun Gogoi has put forward. He said that the voters list is also not less important. If the voters list can be prepared in a in a shorter time, of course, the voters list gets updated every 5 years, and the NRC was last done in 1951. That's a long time. That argument, that's a different issue. But how will you counter this argument of Mr. Tarun Gogoi that voters list is also not less important?
All right, agreed that voters list is not less important in NRC, but NRC, as we have seen, is that it's not been updated for decades, and this is a massive exercise which actually involves a lot of people and material, and people, they have to be told that they have to register themselves for the NRC, and this one actually there will be many claims and objections, and plus this one is particularly important is to establish the citizenship as to who are Indian citizenship. Of course, voters list also would include citizenship, but then in the voters list also many D-voters crop up.
Doubtful. Professor Urupjyoti Chaudhary, I mean, Mr. Tarun Gogoi's argument, but before going to you, Professor Urupjyoti Chaudhary, Apurva Bhattacharjee, how do you supplement this argument of Mr. Tarun Gogoi that voters list is not less important? How do you differentiate between the two?
Exactly, he is right. From his 15 years of experience as the Chief Minister of Assam, and he was the main designer and architect of preparing and updating of NRC. Why it comes to our mind? It comes to our mind to get the names of the Indian people in a proper way, and that will be the supplement for the solution of the foreigners issue. And simultaneously, the present state government creating some sorts of apprehension which as reflected in the mind of former Chief Minister Mr. Gogoi.
Right. Professor Urupjyoti Chaudhary, I mean, this argument that voters list is not less important, argument of Mr. Tarun Gogoi?
Yes, we do agree. The voter list is very, very important document.
How do you differentiate between the two?
But you see, NRC is basically related to that of the citizenship. It is a fundamental document regarding the establishment of a citizenship claim on the part of an individual.
And it's a it's an exercise that is in-depth.
It's in-depth, and for the first time after 1951, it has been updated.
Yeah.
That is why Definitely in the process, certain flaws may occur, but we are confident because the court overall guidance is there, and we do consider the Supreme Court as the guardian of the Indian Constitution and the polity in India. So
Okay.
we have to look to the guardian, and what else
So
would
that
we
means you have maximum faith in what the Supreme Court is doing. The guidelines, you stick to your original argument that the
Yes.
guidelines are strong enough to take care of aberrations.
Right.
Okay, let me quickly go to Dr. Prasenjit Biswas in Shillong. Dr. Prasenjit Biswas, I'll come back to Mr. Torun Gogoi, but before that, Dr. Prasenjit Biswas, if you have heard Mr. Torun Gogoi's argument, Mr. Torun Gogoi, first of all, number one, he expressed doubts about whether the NRC at the end of the day is going to be a correct one. And secondly, he has also come up with an argument saying that the voters list is not less important than the NRC.
Yes, obviously. I mean, Representation of People's Act 1950 tells us who is going to be a citizen, one who is not informed and whose name figures in electoral rolls in the very section 2 of Representation of People's Act, which is a binding act as far as election is concerned.
Right.
Now, if for argument's sake, if I say that electoral rolls contain the names of foreigners, then the elected government becomes a government elected by the foreigners. In that case, the governments at the center and the state must resign if we have to doubt 2014 or 2016 voters list. That's a big aberration in terms of law.
No, but
and someone who's talking
Prasenjit,
about census and citizenship
yes,
has
but
to
Dr.
remember-
Prasenjit Biswas, Dr. Prasenjit
Yeah.
Biswas, this, as Professor Arupjyoti Chaudhary has said,
Yes.
that this NRC
Yes.
exercise is basically an exercise to determine the citizenship. It is in accordance with the Citizenship Act. The entire exercise is
That
Supreme
is
Court in
completely
accordance
wrong.
with the Citizenship
That
Act.
is- that is completely wrong, and it doesn't really behove well, because Census Act prohibits of any evidence as a data for any other purpose except counting and enumeration. Section 15 of the Census Act of 1948, under which NRC 1951 was updated, debars 1951 document to be used as an evidence, as data, or for any other purpose except enumeration and counting. And the data is so incomplete. So updating such a data which doesn't exist is an exercise in absurdity.
But what about
It's
the
a
legacy
goof
data?
up, it's a
People
kind
are
of
going into the
insertion,
legacy,
it's a
the
lot of
parentage.
extrapolation.
No, people are also going into the legacy and the parentage of people.
Now legacy data, legacy data is a direct violation of the Section 3 of the Citizenship Act of 1955, where you are defined as Indian citizen. Jus solis is the principle, not jus sanguinis. The Section 4A schedule of the 2003 rules violate Section 3 of the Citizenship Act of 1955.
Okay, let us not go into
Therefore,
technicalities
there is a
now.
contravention of
No,
law
we
in the
are
very
at
exercise of NRC.
we are at an advanced stage. Mr. Torun Gogoi, I'd like to once again go back to Mr. Torun Gogoi. Mr. Torun Gogoi, this exercise, the entire exercise started in 2013. It gained momentum in 2015. That means for the last 3 years, the NRC exercise has been going on. Now, what Professor Prasenjit Biswas is saying are technicalities. Nobody has questioned these technicalities. So, on the basis of this, we have reached an advanced stage now. Now we have to look for a correct NRC. Is that what you are looking at also?
Everybody is having faith in, not in NRC authority. Everybody has a faith in Supreme Court.
Yes.
Why Supreme Court has to intervene so many times? So that means NRC is not doing their jobs properly. Why Supreme Court has to monitor? You see, why Supreme Court has to intervene so many times? Even today also we have a complete faith. Ultimately it will be
but
corrected. It will be corrected because of the Supreme Court, not because of the NRC or NRC authority, because NRC authority is interfering at the instance of the BJP government.
Right. Mr. Torun Gogoi, before I let you go, I want to ask you a question. After the final NRC, what can the government do with those people whose names do not appear in the final NRC? you are a veteran, you have been a veteran administrator. That is why I am asking you this question. After the final NRC is published, what can the government do with those people whose names are not there?
After final NRC, definitely it will go to Supreme Court, lot of people. I am 100% sure. Yes, genuine for Indian citizen names should be there. Foreigners, yes, those who are found to be foreigner, make them stateless. Then take up the matter with the Bangladesh government to deport also. Foreigner, yes, foreigners, there is also as per the Assam Accord, foreigner, those who came after 25th of March 71, they have to be detected and deported. But till today, very few we could have been able to deport also. Because of that, there was no such understanding, no such agreement with the Bangladesh. The government of India should take up the matters. Those who are found to be foreigners, they have to be deported, or so long they cannot be deported, they can be only declared as a stateless person.
Absolutely, that is the suggestion of veteran Congress leader, former Chief Minister. Those who cannot be, those who are not Indian national must be made stateless citizens, and government of India also must take up the matter with Bangladesh to see if the rest of the people can be deported. On that note, we shall go for a short break, but don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Dr. Akhil Ranjan Datta, you heard Dr. Prasenjit Biswas from Nehru University in Shillong. Prasenjit was saying basically he has gone into a lot of technicalities to say that legacy data and all are not the issue. He said that it is under the Citizenship Act and so on.
I think two articles are very, very critical here, and I'd like to mention about that, referring to what Prasenjit said. Article 3 he mentioned, or section 3, whatever you call it. Section 3, there is a provision, citizenship by birth. Now, citizenship by birth says that the children, anybody, any person born in India on or after 26 January 1950 to that of 1st July 1987 will be a citizen of India. Now, this is a very critical issue, and which was in fact taken up by the SGP government. Prafulla Mohanta said here itself, and also by all Assam Students Union. They argued that if this provision is there, what is the validity of Assam Accord? I think this will be a very, very critical issue. If you say that people, children born between 1971 or up to 1987, and they do not need their parents to be citizens here. They may be immigrants, they may be illegal migrants, and so on and so forth. I think this will be a very, very critical issue, and this is there in the provision of the Citizenship Act. The other provision is Article 6(3), where the question of 1966-1971 as far as Assam Accord is concerned. The provision is that first, their names have to be deleted from the electoral roll. Secondly, they have to be declared foreigner. Then they have to be allowed for registration. Now, the D voters that we have been talking about comes within this category. Now, this has not also been settled. Therefore, the question of legacy data.
So, lot of things needs to be settled. Exactly. So, you are saying the question of legacy data.
Even if the final NRC comes out, this question will remain, and therefore Tarun Gogoi said that this will also go to the court, to the foreigners tribunal,
yes, of course,
and subsequently under writ petition.
I will ask Apurva Bhattacharjee, but one thing is absolutely clear. I mean, on one of my programs, the NRC state coordinator, Mr. Pratik Hazela, was specifically asked this: what about those people whose names do not appear in the final NRC? Can they be automatically regarded as foreigners or illegal migrants? The answer, what he said, is no. These people's nationality will be determined by the judicial system in accordance with the Foreigners Act. Now, Apurva Bhattacharjee, I'll come to Dr. Man Singh Rongpi and Professor Arup Jyoti Chaudhary, but Apurva Bhattacharjee, do you think the Assam government has a role to play? Because at the end of the day, the number of people whose names will not be there in the final NRC, what are you going with these people? Do you think here the Assam government should have an action plan ready?
Absolutely. the government of Assam have to be assured the people whose name will be not found in the
Final
NRC.
What should they show?
They should not be in panic, or they should not worry for their rights. They have the chance to go with the judiciary system.
Even those people whose names are not in the final NRC.
Yeah.
But before coming to Dr. Mansingh Rongpi, Professor Arupjyoti Chaudhary, but it will, if the names of genuine Indian citizens are not in the final NRC because of some errors on the parts of the NRC officials or NRC system, it will be subjected to tremendous amount of harassment. Well, it's not easy to go to the judicial system.
Well, you see, till now, let's have a faith in the system.
Yeah.
The NRC officials, including the coordinator, has repeatedly told us that if the names of the genuine Indian citizens are somehow missing in the NRC.
He is talking about the NRC authorities are now talking about the draft NRC only.
Now,
my question is, what about the final NRC?
Yes, I am talking about the final one. Even if the final
one
is
final, there is no appeal.
No,
after that.
if there is, there will be no appeal insofar as the NRC authority is concerned. The scope for appeal.
Scope for appeal in the court. No, but that is easier said than done. That was my question. My question is that if a if a genuine Indian national's name does not appear in the final NRC for no fault of his or her, then we all know that they can move the courts. But is it an easy job? It's not.
Definitely, it's a very difficult job on the part of the people who are not, whose names are not there.
And everybody cannot move the court. It doesn't come for free.
Right.
But the thing is, my point is, right at this point, our maximum emphasis, everybody is concerned about that there should be a genuine list of people where there will be very, very little amount of flaws.
Little amount of flaws. Yeah, we are all hoping for that, Dr. Mansingh Rongpi. Do you think you have a task in hand actually? What do you feel as a member of the ruling party, as a member of the government? My question to you, Dr. Mansingh Rongpi, there is a lot of a humanitarian aspect here. Yes, not a single illegal migrant, not a single foreigner should stay in Assam or in India. Not a single foreigner's name should find its entry into the NRC. There can be no debate on that. But what about if a few Indian nationals are not included in the NRC, then what happens? What are your thoughts?
Well, as the state coordinator for this NRC has said, that even after they do not make it to the final NRC list, then there is a scope for appeal. And we all have faith in the judiciary, and we also must have faith in this NRC exercise as well. And sufficient manpower has been given, sufficient resources have been given to make it flawless as far as possible.
Okay, let's hope it is flawless. I am now joined also by the ASU advisor, Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee. Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee, welcome to the program. I think he is just changing over. He is in the process of, this is called a change of guard from one channel to the other. Anyway, before I come to him, Prosenjit, you know, the Assam government also has a lot of work to do, isn't it, Prosenjit?
Yes. Now the moot point here is to make an error-free NRC which doesn't have any inclusion of a foreign national and also which includes all the genuine Indian citizens. For that, one has to take care of the legal aspects and the human rights of the people who are excluded for some reason or the other. And 1 month time that is given for appeals and objections is not at all good enough. And therefore, one has to be very, very cautious in really tenting such an idea that there is enough scope of appeal and there is enough scope of correction. Actually, poor illiterate people have no scope of correction. One cannot be so inhuman, cruel, brutal in excluding their names, in deleting their names deliberately, in deploying border police, in giving them foreigners notice, and in trying to exterminate them in many different ways, which is going on in the name of
Right. Dr. Mansingh Rongpi, what basically Dr. Prosenjit Biswas is basically saying is that 1 month time is not enough for claims and objections. There is a big humanitarian angle involved. So, do you think the state government is apprised of the matter, state government is seized of the matter? Will the state government act accordingly?
Yes, the government...
hold on your thoughts, Prosenjit. Hold on with your thoughts, Prosenjit. Hold on with your thoughts, Prosenjit. Yes, Dr. Man Singh Rongpi.
Yes, the government of Assam is seized of the matter, and the government of Assam will take the necessary steps to see that no Indian citizen is left out of the NRC final list.
Okay, you think that government of Assam will do the needful, government of Assam will make sure that no genuine Indian citizen's name will be left out?
What about detention camps? Hundreds of innocents, bona fide Indian citizens are put in detention camps. Unmati Bala Biswas has been released by the Silchar Foreigners Tribunal on the strength of the ordinance that central government has passed in 2015. Why aren't you respecting
okay, Prosenjit, hold on.
Your own ordinance?
Yes.
The BJP government has to answer this.
Prosenjit, please hold on with your thoughts. I am now joined by Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee, ASU advisor. Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee, welcome to the program. You see, it's a heated debate at this point in time. We had the former Assam Chief Minister who said he has faith in the judiciary, he has full faith in the Supreme Court, but he feels that the machinery engaged in the preparation of the NRC may really not follow the guidelines in letter and spirit that is stipulated. So he feels that there is scope for error in the final NRC. And Dr. Prosenjit Biswas of Nehru University, he also says that, you know, it is not as simple. 1 month time for claims and objections is not enough. So how would you like to respond, Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee?
See, we'll have to decide whether we want a permanent solution of the vexed foreign national problem or not. Because 6-year Assam movement, then 32 years after signing Assam Accord. That means in last 38 years we are fighting and fighting to have a permanent solution of the vexed foreign national problem. And because of the non-implementation of the Assam Accord in last 32 years, this problem becoming more grave. All political parties who are in power, either in Dispur or Delhi, they are responsible for that. Either Congress, BJP, AGP, CPI, CPM, all political parties are responsible who are in power in last 32 years. They did nothing to implement Assam Accord. Now as per Assam Accord, the decision to update NRC was taken, and it is monitored by the Supreme Court of India. And this decision was taken at the Prime Minister level to update the NRC. Now the whole process is monitored by Supreme Court of India. And it is very clear, 3.29 crores application were there. The people have they had filed the application, and 6 crores documents are there. Now as per the Supreme Court directive, 1.90 crores names are there in the first list. Now the process of verification is on.
Yeah,
we have full faith on Supreme Court of India.
Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee,
it's a new concept, new procedure. Okay. New procedure, and we have full faith on Supreme Court of India. Supreme Court of India is monitoring the whole thing.
Right.
Now
we all have faith. We all have faith in the Supreme Court.
In this whole process.
Yes, Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee.
Yeah, in the whole process now, the illegal Bangladeshis, they are trying to enroll their name in the updated NRC. That should be stopped. The state coordinator and all the deputy commissioner of the state, the officials and employees who are involved in the updating of NRC, they should adopt a strategy where no illegal Bangladeshi can enroll their name in the NRC.
No, that is a very sensitive statement you are making, Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee. If there is no collusion, how can illegal Bangladeshis have their names enrolled in the NRC? Are you also, do you also have some suspicion that some people within the NRC machinery may be working in collaboration with the illegal Bangladeshis?
No, we have full faith on the Supreme Court. We have full faith on the employees and officers who are working very hard. 40,000 officials, teachers and employees, they are working very hard. And because of that, we had this first draft. Now they are also working day and night. Now the illegal Bangladeshis, they are trying to enroll their name in the updated NRC. Some of them are arrested. It is proved. And others also, they are trying to enroll their name in the updated NRC by giving false documents. Yes. So we'd like to appeal to the chief coordinator, all the deputy commissioners and the officials, teachers, employees who are involved in the whole process. They should be very alert. They should adopt full
I'll have to take the views of my panelists in the studio.
Can enroll their name in the updated NRC by giving false document.
Okay, Dr. Samujal Bhattacharjee, I seek your response. Apurva Bhattacharjee, Congress spokesman, is in the studios. You see, the former Chief Minister, Mr. Tarun Gogoi, when he said that he expressed his doubt to a great extent that the NRC may not be correct. That's what he said. Do you think he is playing politics?
See, I should be very honest to my statement. The updating of NRC was taken in the official tripartite meeting with ASU. Then it was decided at the Prime Minister level tripartite meeting, which was presided by the then Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, and the then Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi was there. And in that tripartite meeting, that is on 5/5/2005, that decision was taken. After that, this whole process was not executed properly. Now, when the Supreme Court has started the monitoring, the former Chief Minister, Mr. Tarun Gogoi, and his government, they had filed a affidavit in the Supreme Court. They had requested Supreme Court to enroll the names of the voters who are there in the 2014 electoral roll, which dilutes the spirit of the Assam Accord. So that was the status of the state government. Okay. So the whole process is as per Assam Accord, as per Citizenship Act, and we have full faith on the Supreme Court. Okay. And the officials and the employees, they are working very hard. Now it is a time that no illegal Bangladeshi names should be enrolled in the updated NRC because they are trying to give false documents.
Okay, Dr. Samujal Bhattacharjee, hold on with your thoughts. I'll come to you, Prosenjit, Apurva Bhattacharjee. There is a strong allegation that the Congress wanted to dilute the spirit of the Assam Accord by requesting the Supreme Court to enable those people who are in the 2014 voters list to be automatically included in the NRC. What is your comments?
Absolutely wrong idea, and you see that Assam Accord was initiated and signed by during the then former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, the Congress government. That was the spirit of the Congress government. Still, we are strict with our that Assam Accord should be implemented in letter and spirit. But now, at present, why it comes to our discussion that the voter list of 2014 was updating on the basis of 1966 voter list. It was a continuous process. And we never asked, we never pleaded for any foreigners' name should be in the voter list, either in the voter list or in the updating of NRC.
So, Dr. Mansin Rongbi, automatically, how much you try to look at this as a purely administrative exercise, as a pure exercise to have a list of citizens, at the end of the day, there seems to be a lot of politics. This was the question I was asking Mr. Tarun Gogoi as well. What do you think?
Well, people who have apprehensions that they will not make it to the final list of this NRC updation, they are the ones who will create all these problems. But people who are genuine Indian citizenship and who have all the necessary information to furnish for this updation of this NRC process, they do not have to have any fear.
Dr. Wasbir, can I add a few? You say that why the peoples are apprehended that it may not be correct. It may not be as per the guidance given by the Supreme Court. Why it comes to our mind? Due to the initiative taken by the state government and the NRC authorities, their apprehension is given, comes to in the public that some things may happen.
So you are casting some aspersions. Yes, Dr. Akhilanjan Datta.
No, my opinion will be a bit different. As far as the issue that Samujal Bhattacharjee raised, I think the Supreme Court has directed to update or they have been monitoring to update the NRC based on the modalities being developed in consultation with all stakeholders. Now there is no scope on the part of any authority. Even Supreme Court, in the Supreme Court of India, the Indian government was trying the level base to postpone the process, but the Supreme Court didn't allow it. I think they have been monitoring it in a very minute monitoring by the Supreme Court. There, but the issue that Prosenjit raised in the very beginning are also very genuine in the sense there is a contradiction between the provisions of the Assam Accord and that of the Citizenship Act being amended in 2003, which hasn't come to the light till now. But once the final NRC is published, I think those issues will come up. That is the issue.
Now,
I think.
I will come to you, Samujal Bhattacharjee, with a very important question. But before that, very quickly, Professor Arupjyoti Chaudhary.
Well, Dr. Prosenjit.
Can I have a small intervention here?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, those who are talking of 6A of the Citizenship Act, clause 7A of the 6A of the Citizenship Act clearly says those who are citizens up to 31st December 1985, 6A or Assam Accord doesn't apply to them. Please read the 6A section carefully before one says that there is 1971 25th March is the only cut-off date. Cut-off date cannot be brought retrospectively, and that is why in 1985 31st December was taken to be the cut-off date in the 6A, section 6A of the Citizenship Act 1955.
But Prosenjit, Assam Accord was exclusively for Assam.
In the exercise of NRC.
But Assam Accord was a peculiar issue. Assam Accord is a peculiar case brought exclusively for the state of Assam.
Absolutely. No disagreement. No.
Of course, it was placed in the, it was read out in Parliament. It is a government, it is a memorandum of agreement which was signed by the tripartite agreement, which was read out in Parliament.
I have no debate. I have no debate about that. I am saying clause 7A of 6A says that the cut-off date is 31st December 1985. No one can say that 25 March 1971 is the
I will come to you on that. I will take the views.
I think only one word to present.
Yeah.
If that is the case, how Supreme Court has directed these NRC authorities
to be on the basis of the
NRC based on 1971
interim.
25th March.
This is interim order, as you know.
Has it not been challenged? Why has it not been challenged?
It's not an interim order, Prosenjit. It has been 3 years since the NRC has been going on. Nobody challenged it. You did not challenge it. Nobody challenged it. You did not challenge it. And therefore, nobody has raised this issue.
No. It's not a question of my challenging or you challenging it.
It's not a question of interim order. Hold on with your thoughts.
It's a legal question.
I will come to Dr. Samujal Bhattacharjee, but before that, Arupjyoti Chaudhary. Yes, Arupjyoti Chaudhary, very quickly. And I'll go to Samujal Bhattacharjee. Yes, Arupjyoti Chaudhary.
Leaving aside the technicalities submitted by Dr. Prosenjit, I do believe that he has a point.
Technicalities are important. Please don't undermine
but my point is that he has a point. To my analysis, his point lies in the fact that the whole issue or spectrum of human rights has been taken care of by his observations. Now, when we say that in the post-final draft situation, what could be the various repercussions in the state, the human rights questions will definitely arise, and it will be a fundamental duty on the part of the state of India and the government of Assam to take care of the situation. We have already discussed in this panel that in the post-final draft situation, there could be a situation in terms of law and order, there could be a situation in terms of various interpretation of law and constitutional provisions.
And also a humanitarian angle.
Right.
Poor people not being able to move the court to establish their nationality.
Right. So, all these issues, when the government tries to take care of any of the issues, we should not think that this is an apprehension on the part of the government.
Absolutely. Bang on, Professor Arupjyoti Chaudhary. Now, Dr. Samujal Bhattacharjee, you have heard the views of Dr. Prosenjit Biswas of Nehu. You have also heard some of the apprehensions raised by Apurva Bhattacharjee. Now, what is your take now?
See, before that, I like to submit that the process is monitored by the Supreme Court of India. If the former Chief Minister have any doubt and apprehension, it is his duty to go approach to the Supreme Court, because in earlier occasions also 6 MLAs of Congress party, they had approached to the Supreme Court. The APC president also filed a affidavit in the Supreme Court. So there is a scope. If the former Chief Minister have any apprehension, he can approach to Supreme Court. 2nd July is the date of hearing. He can go to Supreme Court. On the other hand, On the other hand, the updating of NRC is purely as per these clauses of the Assam Accord, and it is as per the provision of the Citizenship Act. There is a special provision, that is special provision as to National Register of Indian Citizens in the state of Assam.
Yeah.
There is a special provision. For whole of the country, there is house-to-house enumeration, but in case of Assam, by inviting application, and it is based on 51 NRC and electoral up to 71. So the process is on, and due to the hard work of the officials and teachers and employees, we had this first draft, and it is monitored by Supreme Court of India. Now the process of verification is on. I am now again repeating that illegal Bangladeshis still they are trying to enroll their name in the updated NRC by giving false document. So all the officials and employees, they should be very alert, and they should not allow any illegal Bangladeshis to enroll their name in the updated NRC. It's very clear. There will be it will be one of the safeguard of the indigenous people. It will be the way to settle the vexed foreign national problem.
Yeah. Dr. Samujal Bhattacharjee, I request you to stay on. We'll go for a very, very short break. We'll be back right away. Welcome back. Dr. Samujal Bhattacharjee, recently you have seen the United Nations Commission for Human Rights. Out of the blue, suddenly they have dashed off a letter to the External Affairs Minister of our country expressing grave concern about the whole exercise. We have not heard of any UN people, rapporteurs, visiting the city or coming into Assam to have a ground report from the ground to examine the ground situation. So what are your thoughts on this letter by the United Nations Commission for Human Rights or whatever?
See, we are very surprised because institution like UN and their organ, one human rights organ, they had written a letter to the Honorable Minister of Government of India. Rather, they are asking explanation. And we are really surprised. And according to us, there is a design, and design is very clear that the protector of illegal Bangladeshis residing in Assam, they have a nexus to the international group, and they are working against the interest of the indigenous people of the state of Assam and Northeast. That's very clear. There is a nexus, clear-cut nexus, and the whole content of that letter is baseless, and it is not based on facts. And the Government of India now should reject the whole letter, and they should write to the particular group, that UN's human rights group, about the briefing the grassroots reality of the state of Assam, and how a group of UN can write a letter without visiting the state and the Northeast, without realizing the grassroots reality.
Let me take the views
because
of
we have 6 years movement. 32 years after Assam signing Assam Accord, and Supreme Court of India has said there is an external aggression due to large-scale influx of foreigners. Illegal Bangladesh became the kingmaker. These are the facts. They should come to Assam, and they should realize the situation. There is a great design. There is a great design. There is a great design. Right. And the design is very clear. The protector of illegal Bangladeshi and international group, they are working against the interests of the.
Okay, Apurva Bhattacharjee, Samujal Bhattacharjee is saying the protector, those people who want to protect the illegal Bangladeshi migrants in Assam and the international groups are working together. There is a nexus. Now, my question to you, Mr. Apurva Bhattacharjee, is this. Your party, that is the Congress party, seems to be endorsing some of the views expressed in this letter.
No, you said that we don't justify of this letter. Whether any sorts of instances there were violation of human rights? Otherwise, how?
No, this letter is also saying that the Bengali Muslims are being discriminated. In short, that is the even nobody has made such kind of an clear-cut allegation so far, except this letter.
No, we don't consider it in that way. You see that there is apprehension. There is apprehension which was already told by our former Chief Minister, Mr. Tarun Gogoiji also, that due to some activities of the state government and some parts of the activities of the NRC monitoring group, that's why it comes to our mind that some additional forces should be here. I mean, there is something wrong is going on.
No, but I...
Yes, okay,
please,
feel free to come in.
No, I do differ from what Apurva Bachchaji is telling. If you look at the letter, this letter has been written by 4 reporters, not one. Reporters on minority rights, reporters on contemporary racialism.
So does it add value to the letter?
No,
4 people
no, I'm not telling it. But if you look at the content, they are not aware of how the NRC process is going on.
Yeah.
The reporters let me finish it. The reporters have written to the External Affairs Minister to conduct by the government of India the irregularities or aberrations involved in the process of NRC, if any, NRC updating. But the question is, they are not aware of the fact that NRC updating process is not being conducted by Government of India. It is being closely monitored by the Supreme Court of India. Now, even if UN wants to make a verification, that will not be possible on the part of Government of India, because Supreme Court of India will not allow it.
Now,
I think this minimum understanding, they do not have that minimum understanding.
Dr. Prasenjit, how are you looking at this UN intervention?
Exactly. Yes, protest.
The External Affairs Minister should
protest
make
against
it.
it.
Yes,
UN,
yes, Prasenjit, go on.
any UN intervention has to be looked at as a any UN intervention is a statutory intervention, as Government of India is party to the UN Human Rights Council. Therefore, one has to really keep in mind, if UN has critiqued Government of India for any action and raising certain constitutional issue, the issue has to be answered on the anvil of law and constitution, on the basis of ground reality, on the basis of fact.
Urjit Chaudhary, do you agree with what Prasenjit is saying?
No, and as we understand,
one has to therefore,
yes, carry on.
As we understand, the United Nations is an organization of the sovereign nations.
Yes.
Now, if there is any violation of any human rights issue, there is a procedure through which the matter can be raised. It is not like 4 people writing a letter to the Government of India. So my assessment is that this letter has no locus standi and it should be immediately rejected by the Government of India.
Okay, that's an argument that there is a procedural flaw in this letter, just 4 people getting together and writing a letter. But Dr. Mansingh Rongpi, I'll come to you, Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee.
This is a non-understanding of the UN system. Just now, UDHR has accepted UPR report for India. One must know on what basis, on what authority UN makes an intervention. Government of India is free to reject it, but one has to give a constitutional argument. Without giving a constitutional argument,
very true, very true. You are right, Prasenjit Biswas, you are right. Let us not assume
non-understanding of the UN system.
No, it's not that. Let me come in. It is not that nobody knows. It is up. We should not assume that the Government of India is not going to give a proper rebuttal or a reply to the various UN rapporteurs who had written this letter. Dr. Mansingh Rongpi, my question is, are you sure that the Government of India will give a befitting reply or a correct and proper reply to this? Because, as Dr. Prasenjit Biswas said, you cannot just ignore a letter sent by an UN agency.
Well, firstly, the UN, what is their mandate for this human rights or whatever it's called? Has they gone through the proper procedure? And India is not obliged to actually just reply to this letter sent by this 4 people.
Then India should withdraw itself from UN Human Rights Council. You can tell your party and the government to withdraw itself from UN Human Rights Council before you say that.
No, we are talking about the ground situation. We are not asking, I think in this context, we should contextualize the
Now,
letter.
ground situation
We should
as reflected
contextualize
by
the letter.
UN
There is need.
has to
I'll
be
allow you to
understood
continue,
even
Dr.
if you
Mansingh
want to
Nompi.
contest.
But Prosenjit,
Yes,
hold
yes,
on. We should
certainly.
contextualize the letter. What are the
Yes.
points raised in the letter? Whoever,
Certainly.
irrespective
Welcome.
of who has written the letter has pointed out a
See,
few things
racial
which
discrimination
doesn't
is
seem
one of the
prima
points.
facie correct. This is-
Racial discrimination is happening. There is a discrimination.
You cannot
between
make a
so-called
sweeping
original
comment.
inhabitant
We are
and
not a
non-original
banana
inhabitant.
republic.
Original inhabitant.
We are not a banana republic. We have very strong human rights groups of our own. We have a very strong opposition in this country. We have a free press. Dr. Prosenjit Biswas, we have to have
Certainly.
faith. We have to have
Yes.
faith in the free press. We have
So
to
I'm
faith.
saying-
We have to have
I
faith
am
in our
saying,
strong
you see,
opposition. We have to
exactly.
have
the
faith in the
question of-
human rights
the
groups.
question of racial
So-
discrimination.
Prosenjit,
Let me raise one single issue. Let me raise one single issue. The question of racial discrimination, original inhabitant and non-original inhabitant, which is constitutionally not defined.
No, but that
Which
has
It's a
been
question
said by
of,
Supreme
it
Court.
is a question of
Supreme Court
citizens
said
versus
it
non-citizens.
very
No,
categorically that
It is
citizenship is
Dr.
citizenship.
Samuel Bhattacharjee,
It has
let me bring
nothing
in-
to do with
let me
original
bring in- let me
inhabitants.
bring in Dr.
Supreme
Samuel
Court said
Bhattacharjee.
it very critically. But
Dr.
let me
Sam- no,
just
let
give
me ask this.
give me one sentence
Yes.
only. When Prosenjit said that yes, India is a part of the Human Rights Commission and of UN,
Sure,
but
okay.
what I said it that the way the letter has been
Counsel.
written, asking the government of India to make an inquiry of investigation regarding the racial discrimination in the process of updating the NRC is not sustainable for the single reason that it is not government of India or Ministry of Home Affairs who is updating it. It is being updated under close monitoring of Supreme Court of India. That is
India's
the point.
apex court.
Yes.
Now
exactly.
let me bring Dr. Samujal Bhattacharjee. Dr. Samujal Bhattacharjee.
No, okay.
It's a question of
Executive is
the whole
questioned
exercise.
by
Hold
this
on to your
particular
thoughts,
letter. And
Prosenjit. Please
Supreme
hold
Court has
on.
been pointed out certain
No, allow
constitutional
others to
flaws
speak.
by the same letter. Okay, I'm holding on.
Yeah,
Fine.
Dr. Samujal Bhattacharjee.
No, I'm allowing. Please.
Yes,
I am
thank
not
you.
stopping anyone.
Thank you, Dr. Samujal Bhattacharjee. The whole exercise is a question of finding out who is a citizen and who is not. It's simple, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, the letter which was written by the UN Human Rights group is not based on facts. The whole letter is not based on facts, and I can cite 2-3 examples. In the first paragraph itself, it has said there is no official policy outlining the implications for those who will be excluded from the final NRC. They said that there is no official policy. The official policy is there. Assam Accord is there, but Citizenship Act is there. As per the Constitution, as per the Citizenship Act, the updating process is on. So the first para itself is not based on facts. Then on another sentence, he said that citizenship before so-called foreigners tribunals. They are terming the tribunals as so-called. How it can be? It's a provision of the Act, and they are saying it is so-called. So it exists only in Assam. They are raising the issue of discrimination, but the tribunal system is not exist in other parts of the country. It exists only in Assam. In other states, police can detect and they can deport. But here, police can detect, but he cannot deport. The people have the right to go to the tribunal, and after that also he has right to go to the High Court also.
Yes.
So page by page, I can tell you all the paragraphs is not based on facts. So the protector of illegal Bangladesh is Assam. They have a nexus in the international group, and they are working against the interests of the indigenous people of state of Assam.
Apurva Bhattacharjee, you may be belonging to the Congress party, but you may be belonging to the opposition party today. But the point is, the exercise is one to determine who is a citizen and who is not. And I'm sure nobody in Assam wants any illegal Bangladeshi migrants to either stay on, either have their names in the voters list, or have their names in the NRC. Is that clear?
No, you said that it was cleared by our party that no any foreigner's name should be in the voter list, either in the voter list or updating of NRC. But
Then why have you faced the allegation always that you have nurtured a particular class of people to be your vote bank.
It's a political agenda. Nothing more than that. Congress is fighting for the cause. We are not fighting for the people. We are with the law. But some politically vested, interested groups, they are trying to politicalize the issues. That's why they are pointing their finger against the Congress.
Okay,
but it is clear that Congress is for the implementation of Assam Accord for the solution of this years-long foreigners issue. And we never asked, is there any instance that Congress has pleaded for the foreigners?
But Dr. Aurobjit Chaudhary, I mean, you know, this is not a time to play politics, isn't it? Because we have been held hostage by this illegal migrants issue for 35 to 40 years now. It is time to once and for all, as Dr. Samujal Bhattacharya has said, once and for all, take the bull by the horns and resolve the issue to the satisfaction of everyone.
Right.
Isn't that
right?
But is it as simple at the same time? Is it as simple as one might think?
Well, you see, right at the moment, the time is that we should be there beyond politics. No scope for politics is there, and I think the people are so determined to have their cause that no political conspiracies, I say, will stand in front of the popular determination to have a NRC free from the names of the foreigners. That is why, in spite of the attempts from so many groups, you just realize, you just think about the situation in the pre-preparation of NRCs. At that point of time, there was so much chaos in the society and politics of Assam regarding this question. But because of the determination, it is going
I know
on.
that I have to ask a few questions to Dr. Samujal Bhattacharya and Prosenjit as well. But before that, Dr. Mansingh Rongpi, I mean, we also cannot, while discussing the NRC today, we also cannot lose sight of the Citizenship Amendment Bill, which has generated a lot of heat. This bill has been brought forward by your party, Dr. Mansingh Rongpi. A lot of people in Assam have come out on the streets opposing the bill. A lot of people in Assam have also come out on the streets in support of the bill. My question is, you are in a very, very tight kind of a situation, because if the minority communities from Bangladesh are to be included or to be regarded as citizens, their names will also have to find a place in the NRC at some point of time. Is that a issue, or you don't want to deal with that issue at this point in time? It's too complicated for you.
It's not a question of being complicated. See, the proper Citizenship Act that we have, the NRC, the updation will go according to that. And this Citizenship Amendment Bill is not with one particular party, it's a collective effort of the Parliament. So it is not for one party only, but collectively we will or we will not, that question will arise later.
But your party BJP is trying to make it a politics.
See, already the Joint Parliamentary Committee, they have come here and they have done a recce on this matter.
They will submit their report, and we have to wait for the report.
Yes, we have to wait for the report.
Now, Dr. Samujal Bhattacharya, do you see a link in these two things, or do you want to deal with these two issues completely separately?
Which two issues?
NRC and the Citizenship Amendment Bill.
See, during the process of hearing, the present government, the central government, they tried to drag the whole issue, because the Attorney General on behalf of the Government of India, they wanted 1 year time, but Supreme Court didn't allow, and Supreme Court was so firm and determined to go ahead with the whole process. That is number one. That means Government of India wanted, perhaps they wanted to drag more time and to pass this bill. That is number one. And to make this whole process irrelevant. But Supreme Court was so firm. So we have full faith on the Supreme Court.
Right.
On the other hand, because of Supreme Court, we have this process is on. Because of the Supreme Court, we had this first draft, and we'll have a error-free NRC. Now, the central government, they are trying hard to pass this Citizenship Amendment Bill. It is against Assam Accord. and it is against the spirit of the secularism of our constitution, because our constitution does not allow to determine citizens on the basis of religion.
Yeah, can I ask you? Can I ask
things
you?
Are separate.
Yes, two issues are separate. But this question, first, Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee, you please answer, and then I would like Prosenjit Biswas to answer. Suppose this is a hypothetical question to you. Suppose the Citizenship Amendment Bill is passed and the Bangladeshi Hindus are given citizenship. Their names have to be included in the NRC at some point of time. Isn't it correct to understand, to think like that or not? Therefore, it is linked.
See, two things. See, two things. First, before answering your question, the state government, now they are saying, after seeing the public upsurge throughout the state, because the movement is on against this bill, people of Assam will not accept this bill. Yes. Because we have accepted the burden of illegal foreigners who came up to 71, Hindus and Muslims. On behalf of the country, we have taken the load. Beyond 71, we cannot take load. Hindus and Muslims both. That is very clear. Now the Assam government has said they will wait for up to 30th of June. Why? Because they said they let the draft NRC be published. But two things are separate. NRC is, the process of updating NRC is as per Assam Accord, and bill is against the spirit of the Assam Accord. The two things are separated.
Absolutely.
Now, two things are separate. But state government is trying to confuse the people. That is number one. Number two, your question is a hypothetical one. But I would like to tell you, we will not accept this amendment bill. It's very clear. If the central government try to impose this bill forcefully, the situation of Assam will be more, it will be, what word I should say, it will be more volatile. We will not accept.
Absolutely. Prosenjit, what do you think? Time is running short.
I
have very little time.
Yes.
I am very brief. Prosenjit, very briefly.
Citizenship
briefly.
Bill, Citizenship Amendment Bill has to incorporate provisions of Article 14, even when it talks about religious discrimination and religious persecution. It has to include Muslims from Myanmar, Muslims from Sri Lanka, and certain other parts of South Asia. Otherwise, it remains discriminatory, and it does not. We do not support, from a human rights point of view, the discriminatory draft of the Citizenship Amendment Bill. That's point number one. Point number two is that if people who have come to Assam because of persecution or displacement, Illegal Immigrants Act 1950, clause 2 says, those who have come due to displacement, fear of political persecution are not illegal immigrants. And this is upheld by the 2005 IMDT judgment between Sarbananda Sonowal and Government of India. Therefore, let's go by Illegal Immigrants Determination Act 1950 and uphold the clause 2A in letter and spirit. This will make us understand what Citizenship Amendment Bill can do to Assam. Now, coming to the other issue of illegal Bangladeshi Hindus all coming to Assam, that's an absurd proposition.
Okay.
Why Bangladeshi Hindus will come to Assam? That's an absurd imagination and absurd proposition.
Okay,
so
okay. Let's keep it for another day. Dr. Prosenjit Biswas, let us keep it for another day.
Yes.
Professor Urjyoti Chaudhary, your last words. I am running short of time.
Me for an error-free NRC.
Error-free NRC. Apurva Bhattacharjee?
We are advocating for a error-free NRC, and there should not be the drop of any Indian citizen's name from the list.
Error-free NRC with no Indian nationals
and no foreigners' name should be included.
I think for the time being, I think error-free NRC is the aspiration that we have been looking for.
Sure.
But post NRC, there will be a lot of complexities due to the contradictions between the Assam Accord provisions and the Citizenship Act.
Absolutely. Dr. Mansingh Nokpi, your last words.
Well, we also, every one of us here, fully agree that an error-free NRC is what we are all waiting for.
Yeah. Error-free NRC is all what we are waiting for. Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee, how would you like to conclude?
Sure.
Illegals Bangladesh is name-free, error-free NRC. At the same time, the vexed foreign-national problem must be solved by implementing Assam Accord within a specific time-bound program. The international borders should be sealed in a war-footing manner. Constitutional safeguards should be guaranteed to the indigenous people as per Assam Accord. and there should be a bilateral treaty in between Government of India and Government of Bangladesh to deport all illegal Bangladeshis who came after 71 Hindus and Muslims as per Assam Accord.
Absolutely very clear on that. Well, you know, this debate has ended, but there are a lot of aspects that needs further discussion.
Can I have the last word, Wasbir? Can I have a last word, Wasbir?
You have so many words, and I grant you that. Yes, Prasenjit, very quickly.
No, only one sentence.
Yes.
One sentence. The apprehension and genuine fear of linguistic and religious minorities have to be addressed in the process of making an error-free NRC.
Absolutely. The interest of everybody has to be taken into account, while only then can an error-free NRC happen. But let me tell you, viewers, the politics of citizenship is bound to linger, perhaps even after the final NRC is published in Assam, because it will have a set of people who will not have their names in the NRC, but yet their nationality question will still remain unresolved, and they will definitely move the judicial system, Indian judicial system, and therefore I am saying that this issue, the politics of citizenship, is bound to linger on for some more time to come. On that note, I'd like to thank all my panelists for being on this program. On this note, I'd also like to end this edition of Northeast Tonight. Good night and goodbye.